Good morning, everyone. National Sales Director Linda Toupin here. This message is going out to all our beauty consultants around the nation on June the 12th, 2017. Oh my goodness, don't we love the month of June? Don't we love a finish line? For me, growing up on a dairy farm, it was all about harvest time and just how it consumed the entire family. You know, you drank and ate and slept finish line and harvest time. If you're a teacher, you know how to finish out a year. And if you're a student, you know how to finish out a course with finals. And it gets a little bit crazy, but I'm envious of all of you who are in the middle of that journey. And I said it last week and I will say it again. I would give up all of my success in Mary Kay to have the ability to start all over again, because it's the journey, you know, going to the party and realizing, oh, I could probably coach that a little bit better. Maybe somebody would have shown up. Or, you know, I need to change the words in my skincare class to engage that audience a little bit better. It's the journey. So I encourage you to embrace the journey this morning. For my 5 minutes with you today, as I was looking at my date books from 1984, you know, I was preparing for my directorship. I was in DIQ in the summer of 1984. And the thing that struck out to me is two things really that I didn't even know I was doing, but now I do in hindsight, is I was beginning to build geographic areas. Also, I was in a mental mindset that I even teach directors and nationals around the world today, and that is your entire career is spent selling, recruiting, and training your recruit. Selling, recruiting, and training your recruit. And so I was already beginning to do that as a consultant. I noticed in my date book, little bitty, you know, I would recruit someone and I'd grab a couple of other little team members in that geographic area and we might meet at the Pizza Hut, you know, and today you might meet at Starbucks or at Panera, and you're working with your team members. So you're always going to be selling, recruiting, and training your recruits. So just embrace that. And more than anything, embrace the month of June. So I want to talk to you about building geographic areas. This is something I teach new consultants, and I don't know if you can see this with the sun, but that's a really big circle on my piece of paper. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, and there's a dot in the center of the piece of paper, and that's your town. And then at the top is the north, south, east, and west. And so I think you need to ask yourself, how many minutes are you willing to drive to have a facial or a party? And be really on purpose with that circle. So I would think most of you watching would be willing to travel at least an hour to do a facial or a party, and some of you might be 2. For me, I live in Lexington, Kentucky, and 2 hours north of me would be somewhere around probably Scottsburg, Indiana, southern Indiana. And if I were to go west, I would probably be over near Bowling Green where Pam Shaw lives. If I were going to go east, I would be over in West Virginia and Huntington, West Virginia. If I go south, I would be down in the northern part of Tennessee, a little bit north of Knoxville. And if you can kind of project the future, everywhere you travel to do a party is a prospective recruit, which turns into a team member, which turns into a red jacket, which turns into one of your offspring sales directors. And so I want you to populate your circle once you have decided how far you're willing to travel. And if you live in a big city, I mean, 2 hours every direction might be part of that city, and that's perfectly fine. And so then you populate that with communities or little towns or parts of the city. And then get extremely on purpose. Who do you know in those areas? And you begin to kind of go on a scavenger hunt, so to speak, and ask your customers, who do you know here? Who do you know here? And begin to let people know you're building in that geographic area. You're looking for team members and future directors in that area, women who want leadership roles in Mary Kay Cosmetics in those geographic areas. So get on purpose. And then maybe take your top 20 or 30 profile cards and lay them out and see where they are in this circle. And then get on the phone with those gals and say, hey, listen, I'm really on purpose this summer, and I'm going to be working hard in your geographic area, and would you help me kind of help build that area? And whether she is interested in becoming a leader or a team member in that area doesn't matter. At least she feels like she's part of something bigger than she is. So as we finish out here on the week of June the 12th, you guys remember, you're going to sell, you're going to recruit, and you're going to train your recruits. And it all starts first and foremost by your example. Take a look at your star on June the 15th and figure out how to get to your biggest star that you've ever had between now and then. Don't set mediocre goals and don't be happy with the same star that you've had for the past 10 quarters. That's not cool. That's not growth. And so get on purpose with that. And then more than anything else, take a look at the end of June and figure out where you can have a win at the end of June, whether it's in the National Court of Sales, Half Court of Sales, or a Princess Court that your director has, or just a personal sales goal for yourself. And if you've already met your goal, then turn to your director or turn to your national and say, how can I help you reach your goal? Because how you're role modeling your team spirit, your esprit de corps, is going to be copied by every single team member that you have. And it is so important that you learn to be a great team player. And it's harvest time, everybody. Let's get to the barn. Let's milk the cows. Let's get to the hay field. Let's bale the hay. Let's get the job finished. Have a great week, everybody. Happy June 12th.